Hi, it's Marina, the Soul Alchemist. It's time for Pick Your Own Card weekly guidance for the 18th through to the 14th of May. So if you've not had a chance to tune in and pick, then you've got an opportunity to choose cards 1, 2, or 3. And I'll reveal the messages, themes, and energies now that are going to support you over the next 7 days. But I would encourage you to listen to all 3 messages because they're all going to resonate and support you in some shape or form this week. Also, stick around for the bonus card. This is about money and wealth, so where you can support yourself further with receiving money and wealth. So if you've picked card 1, it is trauma and wounding. Now these cards are from my Akashic Oracle card deck, so just to let you know, they're here and they come with a couple of bonuses as well. So if you want to play along with me each week and get to learn what these cards mean, or what you can also tune into these cards for yourself whilst connected with the Akashic Records, then please click the link in the comments or in the description below and you can play along with me. So trauma and wounding. So what you've got here is you've got this lady sat on the swing. There's a kind of real childlike kind of connection and energy that comes from her. And we've got this smashed glass. So what I'm kind of really recognizing with this card is a breakthrough with trauma and wounding. So this could be something that you've been working on for a little while, or it might be that you're feeling in a really good space. And as we know, with our healing and our soul journey, when there are things that need to come up that we need to address, or it's an opportunity to address for us to kind of evolve and grow, these things come up in layers. And so I feel that we've had breakthroughs, we're working through our stuff, and we've got an opportunity this week to perhaps see something else that we can also work on. So trauma and wounding. So this doesn't mean it has to be really big, really dramatic, really painful. But what you might find this week, that there's just something that pops up, something that you've not even thought about, a memory from the past, a realization that perhaps some words or something that you said, a reaction that you had, seeing it from a new perspective. And it's like, oh gosh, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that in maybe that way, or maybe this is how this could have been perceived and I've not even thought about it in that way. So it's a realization that connects with trauma and wounding this week. And this could be trauma and wounding that you are responsible for in terms of somebody else, or it's realizing trauma and wounding for yourself. And so the opportunity is to recognize that, give it some awareness, acknowledge it. And then you can always do the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, or you can just offer forgiveness whilst connected with your Akashic Records to release that trauma and wounding. But this is about seeing, it's about recognizing your journey and also recognizing the breakthroughs that you're having, first of all. But because we've got this female then behind that, what you might find that there's another layer, another level to look at as well. But it doesn't have to be this all big singing and dancing kind of thing where it feels really heavy. And, you know, we don't want to go there because it might be too deep, it might be too painful. This is not what I'm saying. These are just given as little layers, little acknowledgements. We don't have to, you know, even feel the trigger of it. It's just an acknowledgement. Oh gosh, okay, I didn't realize that perhaps that me saying that or me responding in that way could have been taken in that, you know, in that way. Or gosh, I really recognize what I said back then actually was really quite hurtful. And it's about owning our part in that, but also sending some forgiveness or empathy or compassion or love to the person that perhaps was involved, or it might be ourselves if there's nobody else involved. So trauma and wounding. So where can you release more trauma and wounding this week? Where are you being held back, perhaps by past life or past present trauma and wounding? How can you have this further breakthrough for transformation? It's all there available for you. It just takes soulful self-awareness. So let me know how that card resonates. And of course, if you feel that you need deeper support, more unique, specific support, then please do reach out to me. If I'm not the person for you, then chances are I'll probably know somebody that is, that would also be able to help and support you as well. And of course, if you want to go deeper with your own Akashic Oracle reading, which is done in your Akashic record. It includes Akashic record healing. It looks at your next 3 months, or maybe you want to get the deck and play along each week with me, then please do reach out and let me know. Now, if you've picked card 2, it's Success Anchor. This is all about being clear on your intent and your intentions, your goals, your desires, your ambitions. Because the more you have a connection to those, the more clarity you have around that, the more you're able to place that intent into your Akashic records as a success anchor. So success anchors are the symbols of success, the feelings, the emotions, the affirmations, the object that for you portrays success, the thing that you desire that has been achieved. And so that could be an image, it could be a picture, it could be a feeling, or it could be something like what we've got here, which is like a golden acorn or a feather or a coin or a crown. And the success anchor, you can further enhance this intent, you can further enhance by placing it into your present lifetime book as an anchor of success. So what that does is it means that you are staking your intent into the ground, into your current timeline, into the Akashic records. And so the opportunities, the direction, your focus, your energy, the alignment is going to navigate you towards that success anchor, whatever that intent is or that ambition. And by formally doing that in your Akashic records through a simple invocation or declaring that and asking for it to be installed into your present lifetime book, adds an extra level of layer of magic to you realizing your success. So it's anchoring it in. So it can then help with motivation. It can help with the self-sabotage. It can help with the clarity of what your next steps are to take. But we have to do that as like a formal process in the Akashic records. And so the success anchor this week, this card or card 2, is asking you to take some time in getting clear what it is that you want and what you desire, and then asking for it to be installed in your Akashic records. And do that through visualization, do it through invocation, do it through your requests, your words or spells. And when you put an emotion behind it, then you're really enhancing that. So it's the law of attraction, it's manifestation, but we're adding this extra level of magic in there by really placing it and anchoring it into your Akashic records as well. So what can you anchor into your present lifetime book in the Akashic records that you want to realize? Do a little ritual, support yourself with, really taking some time just to be devoted to that and do a visualization, etc., to support that as well. And then start to take action on that, but also be open to what opens up for you to support you with your success. So it's using the Akashic records for success. If you want support with that, or you want to go deeper, or you'd like to get your own deck with your key and the bonus masterclass, then please do click the link below or reach out to me and I can share more information around that. So if you pick card 3, and I would encourage you to go and listen to all 3 cards, just because they're all going to relate. They'll all weave into each other. So self-sabotage. So if we're thinking about our success, oh my gosh, straight away it's like, well, what's the point in me dreaming big? Because I'm only going to mess it up or not believe in it. And it's not going to happen. It can't happen to me anyway. Everybody else can have it, but me, whatever the story that we can tell ourselves, which is one self-sabotage, that, that can totally relate with the success anchor of card 2. Self-sabotage, trauma and wounding. I'm not ready to go into that particular area of my life to dig deeper, which might be, absolutely valid. But where else do you self-sabotage and not look at certain things because you're fearful of what you discover about yourself, or what you unearth around somebody else, or what you realize is to be true, and you feel it deep inside, but you just don't want to face the truth. So we can self-sabotage and hide in our stories, or tell ourselves stories, or we go into avoidance behavior because we're not doing the thing that we need to do in order to move forward, to grow, to evolve, because it feels uncomfortable. So self-sabotage, what are your patterns of self-sabotage? This is the card that is asking you to recognize that this week. Recognize what those patterns are, external drama, things that pull you away from realizing your dreams and your ambitions, taking the next steps, having that self-belief and confidence. Self-sabotage will come up, and there's always fear at the root of that, or the lack of knowledge, the lack of know-how. So self-confidence might be the thing. I don't know enough. I'm procrastinating because there's fear behind that, you know, fear of visibility. What will people say? Judgment. I might be rejected. There's just so much that we hold ourselves back on. And the self-sabotaging patterns come through in very clever ways. So illness, tiredness, breakdowns in your life, things happening to those around you. You know, life falling apart. It's always looking like a breakdown before the breakthrough. And when we're going through the breakdown where everything feels like it's going wrong and happening to us rather than for us, then that's when we stop, because we want to make ourselves feel better. And we don't carry on with working through the breakdown, because we're just on the edge of the breakthrough, but we don't know that because we've stopped doing the thing. So what is your self-sabotaging pattern? This is what this is being asked to do, and just celebrate that you're close to a breakthrough, but you've got to keep going. And so the way to keep going is to have some kind of strategies. I call them on my Akashic Code training growth coping strategies. This is in the business alchemy level 3 of the training. And this is knowing what growth coping strategies you can use that support you edging forward, moving forward, and keeping going through the breakdown before the breakthrough. But you've got to start to have this self-awareness and start to know what things you can do to help you work through the breakdown and not give up. It's not about giving up. So this is about soul self-awareness this week, if you've picked card 3. Card 1 is also similar in terms of soul, full self-awareness, but recognizing that you can heal that trauma and wounding, especially if you're using your Akashic Records as well. So they're the 3 cards. Let me know if that self-sabotage resonates, and also let me know what your self-sabotage pattern is. I would love to hear. I mean, there's so many, but please do share yours. Mine is my avoidance techniques are kind of overly cleaning. That's an easy one for me to put, you know, those types of activities before doing the thing that I really need to do. And the things that are on your list for a long time, if you have a to-do list, or, you know, like there's a kind of like house goal list, and there's just always that one thing, like sort out the garage or sort out the garden, or this needs painting, and you never get around to doing it. There's always something that's more important. Or like for me on my to-do list of the business, it's like doing blogs. There's always something more important, something for me to check out or respond to, rather than doing that thing. And that is where your breakthrough is. That's where your growth is, but we avoid it. And it's perfectly normal, but it's about the awareness of that and what you can do to move through it. So they're the 3 cards. So your money and wealth is your bonus card. And so if you want more money and wealth, if you want to activate a flow of more money and wealth in your life this week, what are you going to forgive? So you can see that we've got this female that's letting go of those chains. She's broken free. She's feeling like the birds. You know, the sky is there. The world is her, you know, the world is her oyster. She's got no limits, complete freedom, complete independence. And because the act of forgiveness has set her free. So where can you forgive yourself around the topic of money and wealth? Where are you holding yourself to ransom, perhaps with past spending and the things that you've spent your money on that you perhaps regret or feel ashamed of? Or it might be a money habit that you have where you spend money on things just to have you feel good. That just is like an emotional release and kind of reward or high, but then it's followed by guilt and shame. having the awareness of those patterns and those behaviors and forgiving yourself in that knowledge will set you free, because then you can do something about that and then recognize, well, why have I got that cycle going with the energy of money? Why do I do that? What am I using money for? To placate? Is it a lack of love? Is it a lack of being heard or acknowledged? Is there other ways that you can self-reward rather than just using your money mindlessly rather than mindfully? And so this is not about judgment. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about forgiveness. It's forgiveness that sets you free, saying, you know, I forgive you for making those choices, or not even that. It's forgiveness around feeling shame around those choices, because the shame and the guilt isn't going to help. So this is about letting that go. And then it's like, okay, so what can I do with my money and my wealth? How can I make more healthier choices with how I use this energy to support my life, to elevate my experience? Or am I still beating myself up? Am I still criticizing myself around not having enough money, being in lack and scarcity mindset a lot? Where can we forgive ourselves, and where can we start to make changes? Where can we have more awareness about money and our connection to money, our money stories? And forgive those. Any money stories that you have about the habits, behaviors, programming, trauma, wounding, this is the time to forgive, because that sets you free and sets up the opportunity to step into anything that will support your money and wealth, to help elevate it. But you've got to forgive first. It's a powerful card. My gosh, it's so powerful. And that reminds me, I do have an amazing, and it's a pendulum masterclass. If you're interested in learning how to use the pendulum, or you're a really avid fan of the pendulum, and you want to understand how to work with the energy of money in a more aligned, more effective way, then I do have a masterclass that's a 2-hour session with a full, complete, beautiful guide and handout, like workbook, with charts and all sorts of stuff, and an invocation for you to connect to the energy of money, seeing what your blocks are, what muscle do you need to work on, whether that's receiving, whether it's holding, whether it's the investing muscle, whether it's the creation muscle, whatever it might be. I've got a masterclass that's available for you to, and it's great value. It's like £44. I mean, my masterclasses, I do give an incredible amount of value in my masterclasses. So if that's something that you feel that you would like, first of all, I'd like to start using a pendulum, because it's a 3D way to use your intuition. So that's really cool. And also, I'd like to understand the energy of money in a much deeper way, and what my connection is and what my blocks are. Then I would encourage you to look at the masterclass. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description for the money masterclass and in the comments. So if you feel guided to get access to that, then you can do that at an incredible value. Okay, so love and blessings, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this weekly guidance. Please share it with your friends and family. Let me know in the comments what your cards were, how you're feeling about those. And as I say, if you want your own Akashic Oracle card deck, so you can play along with me each week and get all of those bonuses as well, then please do play with me and get your own deck. Okay, so love and blessings, and I'll see you in 7 days. Bye.